looking around, and I've been gone for a long time, so I don't know the people from the coast as much anymore. But I talked with my father all the time, and he called and he checked on us, and then he started telling stories, because my father was a storyteller. And you are the characters in those stories that I have known for the past, how long have we been gone back? 25 years? And then from my childhood as well. So it's just amazing to see you here now in real life. David, we all know how kind he could be, and how kind he was for so long. And it is a goal in my life, and always has been, to just be a small part of that good, and to count that as a success. If I could just be a small part of as good as he was, because he would drop anything and come to you if you needed him. If you look, and I think we called them all back in, at the little ones running around here, I think there's a couple of nieces, and the rest are his grandchildren. And those grandchildren are better because he was their grandfather. And the nieces and the nephews that are around here are photographer Jared. Okay. If you look at his photos, I mean, they're inspired by the same kind of photography here. It's just such a big part of our life. He stayed with me for a while. It's a time in my life that I'll cherish when my father stayed with me, but he was never happy staying with me in North Carolina, because he enjoyed being with those grandchildren there and being with me, but this is his coast, and this is his home, and this is where he had his projects and his friends and his life. So he had to return, and he was happier. He was happier here, and he was happier because of all of you. Thank you for being here. Find us. We'll be right here as long as you are right here, and talk and share some stories. I would love to share some stories that we heard, and maybe find another side of the story, and to just talk. Please, if you haven't signed the book, we'll put it with the mounds of memories that we have of my father and his friends. Thank you. Is there anybody who wants to talk? If you want to talk, this is kind of a time for my dad's friends.
I want to say something.
Please, please.
I'm Elaine Stevens. I've known David for a long, long time because we're both around the same age. I'm a little older. I never got to say thank you to him as a mother. I was always grateful to him as a technician and being an anchor at WLX and having helped me and always guided me and was patient with me as I was learning. He was always like a teacher, and he was always, as y'all know, creatively thinking about something all the time. But I never really sufficiently thanked David for what he did for and with my son, Chris, on the movie Raiders. And along with his other father, Francisco, over there, and we were all like a team working together. They never said no to the boys. David was so patient. He's given credit on everything that Chris has done since then, on the film. But in those early days of WLOX and working with a child that age, 10 and 11 years old, David never lost patience. He and Vester and Francisco, and I think Jimmy Raymond was there then, and they were running up and down the stairs trying to edit between midnight and 6 a.m. And David Ashby stood by those boys till the very end, and he was the kind of man that never lost his patience with a child. So you are very, very fortunate to have a parent that was as giving and as kind, because if he was as good to you as he was to my son in those formative years, then your childhood was blessed. And that's what I want to say to David. Thank you for guiding my son.
After going through stuff, I actually found a copy of that. We talked about that today all the time. And I found a copy of it that I've never seen it. And it's all still wrapped up and everything. And I'm excited to finally see that.
Anybody else?
I'd be glad to talk, but I don't know what to say. There's so many stories.
Yeah.
I was minimum wage, part-time employee, WRH TV. aspiration was commercial direction. They would take the movies, they would videotape commercials. I was nobody. He let me tag along. Pretty soon, some of his ideas became my ideas. And I became successful, but it was him who I aspired to be like at that moment in my life. At WXTV, there were great people. Elaine, and you were working there at the time. And of course, there were young, 20-something-year-old people, and Dave and all the crowd were always talking about how wonderful a community WXTV was, and what a great sense of going somewhere together. And we both parted ways, but we always worked together on every project. I calculated about 600 projects with Dave. And they did work at the drum of a different beat. But he was a beautiful person. And if you were patient with him, he was 3 times as patient with you. I remember David, I gotta shoot. Can you be here? He knocks on my door, it's 4 in the morning. I'll walk here. I don't have a car. But he was there for the shoot. Means a lot. The people at the Coliseum, when he was working at the Coliseum, you know, I mean, I did many projects with him there. And of course, then he left the Coliseum, never returned, which I felt bad for that. David was one introduced me to Ron, because we needed something welded. And David said, hey, let me show you my buddy, Ron. Ron made me my Gonza Flex dolly, which we used for years and years. So there's not many things I can tell you. Yeah, sometimes he was loading the magazine and forgot the spool and scratched the film, but that doesn't matter. We went and reshoot, and he was there. And so sad to see him go. What I want to say about David is, when we were doing the film office and trying to get the movie coming down here, he was the first through that door at the meetings. I think that he really lived for those meetings. He wanted to be part of something huge and big. And when we were able to bring some movies that he worked in, like Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Mi Amigo, and Artist I Best in Black, he was really into himself. He really enjoyed it. Huh? Yeah, he's sending me a signal that I need to shut up. But anyway, I love David. David actually was like a brother. Miss him. Thanks.
Okay. I am going to stand on the table because it gives me something else to focus on, and that's my balance. I was his oldest granddaughter. My name's Nikki. Some of y'all remember me running around shops. I ran around Ron's Harley shop all of the time, and I went to a bunch of different sets with Francisco. And every time I would drive him anywhere, it was a story about WLOX. It was a story about Francisco. It was a story about David. I was like, all right, that works. There's so many memories that I have of him. And as James calls me, my cousin, I was his little shadow. And that is the truth. I was the oldest. He was mine. He was not the other grandkids. He was mine. That was my poppy. And I know for a fact that he loved me and that he loved everybody else that he got to spend time with. You guys played such a huge role in his life. And it played a huge role in mine whenever I was growing up. Sorry. It's really, really great to see everybody out here and to finally put faces to names, because the stories that he tells me about all of y'all, I remember them. I remember every single one, probably because he told me 27,000 times, but I remember all of them. And I laughed at him every time because there was something different he said every time that I didn't remember the last time. It's like, oh, you told me that last time. Okay, I remember that now. And it's going to be really, really hard making long trips and not having him out to my Aunt Becky's. But I know he's still going to be there. And I'm going to have these stories. And when I have children, they're going to hear about their great-grandfather. And they're going to tell every single story about all of y'all because I have them and they will keep going. You guys played such a huge role in his life, and I appreciate it because it helps him play an even bigger role in mine and an even bigger role in my mom's and my uncle's. And it makes me super happy to know that he had this community of people that was there for him and that loved him just like I love him. So thank y'all. I appreciate every single one of y'all.
I'm like the emotional side of our family. I won't make it through this. I'm David's brother, Steve, and I have similar stories that you heard from Chris in particular and Nikki, because I was in Vicksburg most of the time interacting with you guys. When I go back to the days of Ron and Hal and Hutch and David and others that were family to me and David when we were high school and older. And I've known that now as long as I've known anybody except one of his sisters at this point in time. Most of us grew up the same neighborhood, that sort of thing. I already told my motorcycle story to Ron, and I think I hit a nerve. I can tell you this one time, David had a Plymouth Duster. David was a little bit rebellious. He let me use it one weekend to take my friends to a football game. Maybe Chris will have heard this story. So it's Harrison Central against D'Iberville, and it's, I don't know, 4 to 6 teenage boys and a 6-pack of beer going to the ball game. We get there late, no place to park, except for on the side of the field, on the end zone side, there's this nice flat grass area there that had just been mowed. So I think, okay, we'll pull into that. I'm in David's car. We got a 6-pack of beer in the back, maybe 5 of them left. And we pull in, and it was a drainage ditch, and we did this. And we bottomed out in the ditch, and water's coming in over the door. This is my brother's car. It's a 73 Duster. This is 74. It was maybe it's 24. And we freak out. Call a tow truck. Cops come out. Said nothing about the beer. Great big D'Iberville or Harrison County Sheriff says, well, I can get this out of here. And he's going to jump on the back side that's up in the air to give us traction. Well, guess what? He rolled off and landed in the ditch. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to jail. We're all going to jail. My brother's car's going to jail. You know, a tow truck would come out and pick it up and put it back down. No, we're going to tear it up. I don't know how we got it out of there. I don't know if it's a friend's logging truck or what. But we get it out, and we take it back, and it's drying out, and I have to tell David. He said, that's okay. You know, we'll just dry it out. You know, that's the way he fixed things. You know, they take care of themselves. Lots more stories like that, but it goes way back. What I want to say are things, I should go to Francisco and then Nikki. David was rich because of you guys. He didn't have much, but he had the memories and the friendship, you know, that you guys support 40 plus years are priceless. Thank you. Almost made it.
You guys know David. He was all your friend. He was everybody's friend. I don't think he ever met anybody he didn't become friends with. I married Chris 23 years ago, so I've known David for 25 years. I want people to know him as a grandfather. My kids were blessed because from the minute Katie was born, he was the first person in the family. He drove all the way from Mississippi to North Carolina for 2 little days just so he could see his second grandchild, brand spanking new. And every time we were visiting, he's taking the kids. He's going. He's got Nikki and Katie, and it's Nikki and Katie, and as a child was born, it didn't matter which one it was. They just got scooped along. He